Hello, my name is Leslie Williams, and today's date is July 7th, 2013, and I am in San Diego, California, and I'm trying to prop up this video camera so I can make a video. And it's a little lopsided, so I'm trying to adjust it so everything looks copacetic. What's happening? Now, I'm making this particular video here in San Diego County, and I am what is known as a targeted individual. Targeted individuals of what are specific kinds of people that are victims of a specific type of crime, and that crime name being what is called organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. Now, this particular video is just going to be basically a story, and the reason why I'm illustrating this story is because I want to try and help people be able to take in an accurate pictorial representation concerning, in part, what these crimes are all about and the audacity and nature of the perpetrators. And it is as follows. Over the past few days, I've been thinking to myself about what would it be like to have been one of those 19 firefighters that died in Arizona. Very young men, and I obviously, I did not know any of them at all, and so I cannot say if they were bad men or good men. But I do know, though, that that when we have any type of public servant that dies in the line of duty, we should pay attention to that and try to come to understand, at least pay attention to it, to realize the kind of loss that your community suffered, the kind of men that they were, the families that they had, the friends that they had, the contribution that they made to their community, and what they were doing, what they were trying to do in reference to helping their community, which caused their death. You know, that's a bad way to go, and my heart goes out to their friends, their families, their loved ones, and their community. What is the purpose of this video? The purpose of this video is to be able to help you see with your mind's eye and to feel and touch your heart in reference to the story I'm about to tell. Because the story that I'm about to tell are factual realities, and the way I'm going to tell it might seem inappropriate. It's not meant to be inappropriate at all. The true nature and intent, and the only intent that I am making this video, is to give you a story that is going to be true in its factual reality in reference to the theme of it, so you can understand with your mind and with your heart what it is like to be a targeted individual, and what who the perpetrators are, who they can be, what they're all about, and the audacity behind their nature, their expeditions, and the system that protects it. Now, let's take a look at this. If you're an innocent person who has done nothing wrong whatsoever, and you have every single aspect of your life totally destroyed, kept destroyed by the perpetrators who are in the system that is doing these crimes to you, that have some of the most criminal aspirations and motivations for the target that any human being's mind can imagine or conceive, in reference to the motivation being a factual reality, then we can start to possibly listen to what a targeted individual is exposing to you, okay, in reference to who they are, how they operate, and what their criminal motivations are, and how they use the system and their employment descriptions to not only perpetrate the crimes, aid and abet in them, to commit conspiracy to perpetrate them, and then use the system to not only protect them, but to also use the system to nullify and vilify the target of them. So the original motivation and aspiration that they had for the target can be achieved. Yes. Now, when we look at, if we take the time, if we decide to take an honest approach and a sincere posture in reference to saying, okay, well, I'm going to listen to what this woman's saying, and then I'm going to take what she's saying, and I'm going to go to the internet, and I'm going to extensively and thoroughly investigate everything that I state. And if you do this over time, because it will take time for you to be able to sift through the misinformation, the disinformation, and the truth, and the factual knowledge that is online concerning these crimes, then you will be able to build a foundation concerning what these crimes really are, who participates, how they operate, who protects it, and what happens to targeted individuals. Yes. Now, how do you think that you would feel if one of the most respectable employment descriptions in our community was involved in some of the most heinous crimes against totally 100% innocent individuals? How would you feel about that? Would you want to know the truth? Or would you want to say this person has no right to defame or slander these types of employment descriptions, when not every single person who works in these employment descriptions involves themselves in these kinds of crimes? That is not my motivation of this video. My motivation of this video is to be able to help you understand that when these employment descriptions are used for these kinds of crimes, the persons who are using these employment descriptions for these kinds of crimes also get the respect of the community members, in the community. They're seen as heroes. They're seen as people who risk their lives on a daily basis in order to be able to help and protect the community, while at the same time, from behind the scenes, they are involved in some of the most horrific, horrendous, snakish, filthy crimes that can happen to innocent human beings, while they get to enjoy the respect of the community members that they live in and work in. While little do they know that the actual community members don't have one clue about some of the criminal aspirations they're actually involved in and connected to. Yes. Now, am I stating right now that firefighters and certain specific police officers can and are involved in organized stalking? I can look you flat out right in the face, in your eye, and tell you yes, they are. Am I saying that all of them are? I can look you flat in the eye and tell you that no, that all of them are not. But specific individuals are. And these specific types of individuals, and even their bosses, whether their bosses are or are not, they will make sure at the end of the day, or I'll put it to you this way, do you think that they would make sure at the end of the day that they would use their employment descriptions to protect a crooked one, just in order to preserve the image of the integrity of the type of employment descriptions that the criminals that are connected to these syndicates, that are connected to the criminal motivations, do you think that their bosses, in other words, do you think that their boss, like the chief battalion of the police department, would protect the image of the fire department in order to be able to make sure that his fire department's image is never tarnished? Do you think that he would protect the criminal, whether he knew that the person was a criminal before or after the fact or not? Do you think he would? That's up for your own deliberations. Well, so what am I trying to say, and what am I trying to expose? Well, I'm not very good at making videos. I'm learning disabled. But understand this, please. I can tell you that I'm a very intelligent woman, at the risk of sounding vain, I have a degree in architectural drafting. I'm a little plugged up. I had some milk last night and I'm allergic to milk. I have a degree in architectural drafting. I took electrical engineering in school for years, computer networking, computer programming, multiple courses in psychology, and I studied the brain extensively for years and years and years and years. Yes. I'm a very educated woman, and I am very intelligent. I'm also a very seasoned target concerning the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. Now, understand, just because I am learning disabled, by no means mistake me for being a fool, for being stupid, or uneducated, because that is not the truth concerning who I am as a person, And I guess the point I'm trying to make is this, is that sometimes when you have somebody who's got so much to say in a very short video time, because for one, this video camera it's a new one, so it kind of seems that the batteries run out within 29 minutes if you're not using like those platinum batteries that cost $13 for 4 batteries. So sometimes when I make videos, I feel pressured to condense so many details in one short time period that I get a little anxious, and therefore I think that my speech sometimes gets a little bit interrupted. And so that's all I really have to say in reference to I'm learning disabled. But anyways, getting back to the theme and nature of this specific video, is that you can go to Google right now and you can type in a Gang Stalking Tech everything you need to know. It's a manifesto of a manager of organized stalking, gang stalking crews. I believe it to be a woman that wrote this this manifesto. And this woman flat out states that she's a manager of what is known as gang stalking. She flat out states that she is in charge of what is known as the scripting, observation, playwright, and theater section of the syndicate. And she states that in reference to the categorized section of the syndicate that she falls under, okay, when they need harassment or help concerning the syndicated members that are in the fire department and police department, that those specific employment descriptions fall under the category of this section of the syndicate that she is in. And she also flats out states that even entire police departments have been taken over. Now, so let's take a look at this. And well, I'm going to just keep talking while I got to do what I got to do here. If you have, when we look at just some of the criminal aspirations that are involved in these types of syndicates, like human trafficking, sexual servitude rings, prostitution rings, land co-opting, property co-opting, mortgage co-opting, trust fund liquidation, identity theft, treating people like straw people, which I'll get into. Well, I've already made videos concerning that, but that's basically where they will wreck a person's entire life in reference to their personal autonomy, their ability to be able to work, blacklisting from employment, staged vehicle accidents, and then eventual covertly created homelessness. This is all done so the campaign of gang stalking can continue and bring about desired falsified police reports, doctor reports, county mental health reports, and social services reports as a result of framed, staged incidences that bring about framed results, which are the documentation that is used in order to be able to bring the target before a syndicated probate judge in order to petition the state to take legal ward of the in order to be able to take syndicated probate control of the target in order to co-opt their existing finances, to exploit their insurance, and exploit the target sexually in a syndicated run group home or any other type of environment they own, including institutions and detention centers. A lot of detention centers now and prisons are privately owned. And every time an inmate goes into a detention center or prison that is privately owned, federal funds are applied for per inmate, and these police officers and syndicated judges do get kickbacks. And if you don't believe me, you can go to Google and type in Pennsylvania judge sentenced to 28 years for pipelining first-time misdemeanor children to the full maximum sentence. I suggest you Google that. So, racketeering, insurance fraud, and if they have a target that doesn't have any finances or existing insurance already in their name at the state or federal level, like Social Security or state Medicare or Medicaid or Medi-Cal, whatever it's called, once they get the syndicated probate control of them, they'll apply for benefits in their name. Yes. Go to Google and type in how 4 mentally disabled individuals were kept in a basement in Philadelphia for 10 full years. So that skank could get their Social Security checks, and about how she had the identification cards of 50 other people on disability. This is racketeering, treating people like straw people for same. And this is another one of the criminal aspirations that these people are involved in. So, we got fire department EMS personnel that can be involved, definitely be involved in organized stalking. We also have a fire department personnel that can be involved in fire truck siren harassment. Just Google it and cross-reference it to gang stalking. And then we got the syndicated police officers that are involved in it that will happily file a falsified police report, a staged arrest, or a staged petitioning into county mental health or area neighborhood hospital into a psychiatric floor to be discredited by a syndicated doctor. All of these employment descriptions can be identified in the manifesto if you decide to go to Google and research it. So, what am I stating? I'm stating that the very types of individuals that have these employment descriptions who are seen as heroes in our community, okay, are taking whistleblowers like me and every other targeted individual out there that's got the ability to effectively whistleblow, at least on the internet, who are actually heroes, because what we're doing is trying to inform you about what these people are involved in, because these people will literally target anybody, a single mother, a single father, okay? You would not believe the crimes that they're involved in. Yes. And you would not believe what I know. You would not believe what I know. So, as a result of thorough, investigative, sincere research, honest research, okay, of these crimes on the internet. And once you do a thorough investigative research, you'll be able to conclude that these types of employment descriptions are involved in these expeditions. Flat out. It's undeniable. Okay? So, when you think to yourself, whenever you see a firefighter or a police officer, don't automatically think that they're involved in gang stalking. I'm making this video in order to be able to help you understand that some are. Okay. Now, so why am I stating that? Because this is the kind of, well, I believe this is like one of the most biggest hypocrisies concerning these criminal expeditions. Because these people, okay, take property taxes, whatever type of income tax or sales tax or property taxes or whatever kind of taxes, whatever funds, their pensions, their salaries, their vacations, their everything that they get as a result of being a firefighter or a police officer, every single thing that they get that pays for everything that they got as a result of them having these employment descriptions, and then using the same employment descriptions to do these crimes to innocent human beings, okay, while they're getting the respect of the community and seen as heroes, while they're involved in some of the most heinous crimes that your mind can conceive. Yes, human trafficking rings, sexual servitude rings, prostitution rings, pedophile rings, rape, robbery, murder. Yes, isolating people in syndicated criminal control for the rest of their entire lives so they can be tortured for Medicare fraud, insurance fraud, to be treated like straw people, to have their entire futures raped and robbed from them, while they get to go on vacations, while they get the respect from the community, and while they're nothing but criminals, and while the innocent people are living in a literal virtual prison, being harassed, tortured, raped, sexually exploited, defamed and discredited by the very employment descriptions that they're in. You know, that would be like a rapist calling somebody a rapist, okay, in order to be, because what they do is lie to the community about us targets in order to get the community to harass us targets for free by the community members based on a lie. And the kind of lies that they tell about a target are actually the kind of crimes that they're involved in. Yes. While they turn around and get the respect from the community. Yes. And so when you see a targeted individual, and then they'll get online and discredit the truth the target is telling by calling them crazy online. They'll set up fake YouTube accounts. They'll put comments on targeted individuals' YouTube videos. They'll create web pages and blogs, and then post the target's video on their blog, and then call them crazy, mentally ill, a drug abuser, a drug dealer, a pedophile, a prostitute, anything that they can. And every description, it's like 99% of all the descriptions of how they discredit targets is either the stuff they're involved in or the methods and tactics used that they use to trying to deflect the truth about what the target's exposing, by calling them crazy, mentally ill, a threat to themselves or others, or that they're a social deviant of some kind. Yes. Now, when you would not believe what I know. You would not believe what I know. It's sickening, it's horrific, it's horrendous, and they are literally responsible for some of the most heinous crimes that can happen to a human being. Literally. Every single aspect of our lives is totally destroyed. We're kept in a virtual prison because we're kept isolated from help. Because as a result of the tracking and surveillance of organized stalking, gang stalking targets, they know when we're reaching out for help. Our cell phone calls are rerouted. Emails that are sent for help. Email replies are intercepted. Email replies are faked by them. Yes, they had the power positions in the community to corrupt lawyers that the target runs to for help. Yes. They can pipeline a target's evidence and case before a syndicated judge who will happily throw out everything and then throw the target in jail or an institution or a psychiatric floor. All for the criminals that are in the system using your tax dollars to do all of this to one individual who has literally done absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever, who's the victim of their crimes. While they then leave that same courthouse and go about in the community and walk into a restaurant and receive respect from the people who wait on them because they're seen as the heroes of the community. while it's actually the targets who are the heroes, because they use their money to buy video cameras and batteries for same in order to make these videos to expose you about what they are. When we have people that are in these kinds of employment descriptions, yes, everybody is vulnerable because they use their employment descriptions to do this to people, innocent people, and to make sure that they never get no uncorrupted help while continuing the expedition against them. So, my name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. These 19 firefighters that died in Arizona, I'm not saying they were involved in organized stalking or gang stalking because I don't know any of them individually in order to be able to know if they ever were or not. Okay? But whenever I see any type of video or news story of a firefighter or a police officer who is getting all of the community's attention as a result of them dying or getting hurt in the line of duty, I'm not saying that the recognition that they're getting is not deserved. More than likely, most of the time it is. What I'm stating, though, is that when a target dies, the manifesto flat out states that when a target commits suicides, that these, because of what's happening to them, that the perpetrators of these crimes will make bets on if the target will commit suicide or not. They are responsible for some of the most heinous crimes that your mind can conceive. So, who advocates for a target? Are targeted individuals who spend their money, their time, their resources while going through extreme hell on a daily basis. Are we ever viewed as heroes when we go out in the community? No. What we receive is harassment from the community because they're told lies about us and painted out to be social deviants of the worst kind. And the lies that are told about us usually fit the descriptions of the crimes of these employment descriptions. Yes, and that is the most heinous, hypocritical, one of the most heinous, hypocritical aspects of these crimes. Yes, you would not believe what I know. In other words, human traffickers will label a target as being a prostitute to get community members to believe that they are, in order to motivate the community members to run the target down and out of the community, which aids in abet in wearing the target out financially, emotionally, and physically to try and break them. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm in San Diego, California, and part of this community-based harassment is achieved through what is known as the community notification and or the offender's notification that is being illegally and criminally used by the perpetrators in the system. So, why won't the San Diego District Attorney's Office, or the City's Attorney's Office investigate the factual reality that I was assaulted on an MTS bus, and then MTS had the audacity to send me an altered video of the assault? Think about this. If a person is assaulted on a bus and then the bus company sends them a video of them being assaulted, why would they alter it? And why won't the San Diego District Attorney's Office or the San Diego Police investigate this factual reality? I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. So, if you go to YouTube and type in "learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on an MTS bus," what are you looking at? Are you looking at a hero that's getting the shit knocked out of her because she was exposing the crime that's in the system? Yes. Yes, and every punch I took was for the sake of my fellow targets, which include the elderly, veterans, children, mothers, fathers, and so on. And I happily do it every day, humbly and gratefully. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. So just ask yourself these questions and investigate the statements that I make in them. Do they make targeted individuals homeless? And then does the system try to say that the target cannot take care of themselves because they're homeless and they're claiming everybody's harassing them? Is this how they take the syndicated probate control? Is this why the homelessness is created to begin with? These are the legal apparent excuses they use to trap targets in organized crime environments so they can be exploited, treated like straw people, and sexually exploited. Yes, and these are the employment descriptions that do it and protect it. A virtual prison for torture. Literally. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. You be the judge. Investigate the statements that I made in this video and conclude, for yourself. Am I telling the truth or not? Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.